What's going on, guys? This is Carl with the RacerRed channel. Now here riding some Stanley area. This is day number 3 for me. It rained pretty much all day yesterday, so I'm happy to see some clear skies today. Just got done visiting the little ghost town of Custer. Really cool history there. They had all kinds of tools and equipment from back in the day, back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. That town shut down in 1902, so a lot of those tools are from the 1800s. Pretty cool to see stuff from back then. Being around these mining towns definitely reminds me of how easy resources are to come by in modern times. It's a click away. All you have to do is go online and get whatever you need brought right to your doorstep within a couple days. Flip the light switch on. You got air conditioning and heating. But back in the day, even refrigeration just wasn't a thing. They had these ice houses. They would harvest ice during the winter time, dig a big old hole or a cave, layer it in there with sawdust in layers, and they had enough in there that would last them all summer long. That was a lot of work. But it's crazy. Now you have a refrigerator at home that just does everything for you. You're good to go. As long as the power stays on. Really what set us off light years ahead was electricity. Once we had electricity dialed, then everything became so much more survivable. And everything was so hard back then as far as medical needs and all of that. But now even medications can be brought right to your doorstep. I was reading a story about a lady in one of the cemeteries who had a kid. It was just so harsh. I mean, she had to keep warm water on hand, and she couldn't always do it. Kid ended up dying because it had a special medical need, and there was really no hospital to speak of back then. You were on your own. These modern niceties, they are a beautiful thing, and that's what I go back to in camp even. I mean, I go back to my ambulance in camp. I'm watching movies before I go to bed in there. I've got solar powered everything in there, so I've got a refrigerator, and yeah, it's nice stuff to have. That was as nice as it got back then. You know, Custer, that little town was not so little back then. It was a pretty happening town. There was a lot of people and a lot of little businesses, and yet it was so harsh. They had avalanches sweeping houses away in the middle of the winter time, and crazy amounts of snow. You relied on fire to keep you warm. There was no electricity. In the middle of the night, you couldn't light up anything. The streets weren't lit. They had avalanches come through and wipe houses away into the river, and people went out and were looking for the residents But it was at 8 p.m. in the middle of the winter time with crazy amounts of snow, and all they had was horses and just candlelight lanterns. They didn't have very much light. Just such a brutal time. I'm seeing some fairly fresh tracks here, so I'm being really careful. This is a shared trail with horses and hikers, so I have to make sure that I'm careful about spooking horses. I don't want to run up on them really fast. I don't want to catch myself off guard. But these tracks are definitely fresh after the rain yesterday. So this stuff happened today. I will likely be passing some horses before long. This is kind of cool. Stuff is actually really hard on animals. I had a dog that we took hiking one time, and hiking across this stuff with a dog was just brutal. Poor thing. It just tore up its paws. Everything has gotten so much easier. But I do think that has made us softer, for sure. I mean, obviously. I don't know if that's a bad thing, though. I mean, do you want to go backwards in technology and progress just so that a person can be, like, more adaptable, I guess? Probably not, because a lot of people died back then. That was a tricky one. I was in a gear too high for that. Oh, I don't know. Very nice bridge here. And I think I will wait for my brother and my dad, who arrived late afternoon yesterday. Alright guys, catch you on the next video. Peace.